Welcome to a nourishing midweek lunch hour conversation with Spokane's newsmakers, thought leaders, and popular entertainers. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Welcome to Spokane Talks Live.
Welcome to the Wednesday, May 2nd edition of Spokane Talks Live. Three great guests today. Kate Hudson from Visit Spokane, and a lot going on. It's May in Spokane. So much going on. We're going to hear about that. Mike Volz, who is the Washington representative from the 6th District, will be here. And Forrest Buckner will be joining us live from Whitworth University. Next on Spokane Talks Live.
For the Inland Northwest's most comprehensive sports report, think outside the porch with spokesman.com. For just 99 cents for the first month, you'll enjoy unlimited digital access to the news and sports news that affect you most. From EWU to WSU, from Northwest Preps all the way to the Seahawks, we're the local authority that makes sports in the Inland Northwest different than the rest, better than the rest. On your phone, on your desktop, and on your tablet. Subscribe to the digital experience with spokesman.com.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
Well, welcome. It's a great day. It's sunny out there. I hear it's going to be about 70 degrees today. And our first guest is going to be Forrest Buckner, who is the Dean of Spiritual Life Program out at Whitworth University. Forrest, good morning to you. Afternoon, I guess it is.
Good afternoon, Ken. Great to be with you.
Are you there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, yes. All this modern technology.
Yes.
Hey, I read in the paper a few weeks ago about the spiritual Dean of Spiritual Life position, which is your position, has been endowed. And that's quite unusual to have that kind of backing, which really says a lot about the donors, number one, to Whitworth. It says a lot about Whitworth that you've got that position that you hold, that the university cares that much about spiritual life and so forth. Talk about what this all means to Whitworth and your students, because that's what it comes down to your students.
Yes, exactly. Well, we are really grateful to have this new addition to what we're doing here. So I oversee the campus ministry programs here at Whitworth, as well as serve in some administrative roles as part of the President Taylor's cabinet and part of the other administrative leadership of the university.
Right.
And what this endowment does is it, instead of, you could have framed it in terms of replacing my salary and freeing up money to do other things, but instead donors hoped for, and what the university has committed to, is to say this endowment will actually just increase the resources we have to do and reach out in our campus ministry efforts on campus and support spiritual development of students. So it's going to be a direct gift to Whitworth students, and it's going to directly impact how much we can do to help them be growing spiritually while they're here at Whitworth.
And that's really important, because you are a Presbyterian university. Sometimes we forget about that because we think of Eastern Washington University, WSU, and some of the others that aren't affiliated with a church or denomination. And I've always thought highly of Whitworth for being that. In my old Presbyterian days and talking with friends and so forth, and they knew I was from Spokane, it was always Whitworth. Then in those days, college,
yes.
Now university. But that really is so important. How does that impact your students?
Yes. Well, when you talk about, I think one of the interesting things about Whitworth that I really appreciate is it is unabashedly a Christian institution. Our mission statement is equipping our diverse student body to live a life that honors God, follows Christ, and serves humanity. And so we're seeking to equip those graduates for that with this, we call it a mind and heart education.
Excellent.
And you don't have to have a Christian faith commitment to come to Whitworth. So students come here with a whole variety of faith backgrounds, and especially Presbyterian. There are very few who really are Presbyterian. There definitely are a number, but even among Christian students, I would say Presbyterian is definitely a minority as far as how they would self-identify.
That's interesting,
so you end
isn't
up
it?
with a mix. It is. So you end up with a mix of students from across the board of involvement with and understanding of and engagement with the Christian faith. And so Whitworth believes that as a Christian institution, we can and should provide the best possible education for every student, regardless of their faith background. And we want to provide opportunities for every student to grow in that Christian faith, to develop, to learn about Christian faith while they're here. And that happens in a variety of ways. It happens through committed Christian faculty and staff who are supporting and with students throughout their experience here. But it also occurs through campus ministry and campus ministry programs and campus ministry staff. We have a campus pastor and a coordinator for our diversity, equity, and inclusion ministries, and some graduate assistants who work around campus to help open up these opportunities for students to grow in their relationship with God through Jesus Christ, as we understand it as Christians. So that's when think about this on the ground for students is going to allow us, hopefully, to be able to put some more people in place on this campus who are in relationship with students, discussing their questions of faith, going to them in their world where they can learn and have a relationship with someone who cares about and wants to help them grow with Jesus while they're here and learn what that means for their life.
And honestly, what it does is puts you in a position knowing that you're not going to be to the whims of a budget from one year to the next and so forth, that you've got a chance for longevity, isn't it?
Exactly. And that's one of the really unique things about this. As you said, we think we're the first Christian university who has an endowed position like this.
Wow.
And one of the things about that is saying for this institution, as long as Whitworth exists, the campus ministry and the chapel will be funded and funded well because this gift has been put on the books here. And that's a pretty amazing statement, thinking about the future of Whitworth.
Now, you had a couple of donors and contributors to this fund. What in their mind and in their heart, if you will, to contribute to ensuring that this continues?
Yes, they are a wonderful couple. Loved Whitworth and supported Whitworth for many years, both Whitworth grads. And the wife, she actually became a Christian. Her story of conversion happened at Whitworth, and so she has a heart to see other students have the same experience that she had here, where she was able to come to Christian faith and then really grow in that Christian faith on this campus. And then they also had a son who went here and he had a great experience of his life and faith and serving in young life and various ways that he grew here as well, that they want to see other students have similar experiences to what they've had in their family.
You know, that's absolutely terrific. It sets the tone, I think, about who you are, who they are, obviously, to step up and make that kind of a contribution to ensure that you have a future. Forrest, thank you very much. This is exciting. It's kind of nice to have something be another first for Spokane and to set the tone. Mm-hmm. I honestly hope that other universities across the country would do the same thing, don't you?
I agree. I do.
All right. Hey, thank you very much for your visit from your crazy schedule today to come on, and best to you out there.
Yes, you too. Thanks so much. Take care.
You're welcome. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome to Tom Sawyer Country Coffee.
Tom Sawyer Country Coffee only roasts the finest organic coffee for our signature blends. Enjoy a cup at our coffee shop and local businesses and organizations across the region.
I'm Tom Sawyer, and we choose the Pacific Northwest.
Last year alone, Avista customers saved over 53 million kilowatt hours of energy. Enough to power more than 4,000 homes for an entire year. Way to save, everyone. Way to save. Find your way to save at avistautilities.com.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org.
Welcome back, Spokane Talks Live. It's Wednesday, the 2nd of May, and my guest, as she almost always does, and I say that because in July you're going to New Orleans or something like June. Okay, all right. I'm thinking July already. Where are we?
Don't get
We're only
too far ahead of yourself.
I know I can't handle May yet.
I
It's
don't
only
want summer to be half over.
Exactly. Kate Hudson, how are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
We
How are
had
you?
some guy named Tom Hudson here yesterday for a sports program. Yeah.
Yes. I know him.
Yeah, you
pretty
do.
well.
Yeah, he's kind of like the father of your kids, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. But you're much better looking. Okay.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
We won't tell him you said
No,
that.
we won't. I'm sure he's not watching. Hey, this, I don't know how many times you're here at the first Wednesday of the month, and we talk about all the things going on, and my comment often is that's almost as crazy as May because so many things go on in May.
I know.
So the rest of the program, I guess, is going to be yours, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It is
funny.
an exciting month
It
in
is.
Spokane.
And we have Bloomsday on
Yes.
Sunday, which I'm running, and I've never run it before.
Uh-oh.
I've always worked it, being in the media, so
Yeah.
I've never had a chance to run it. So this is going to be
Oh, boy.
An interesting Sunday for me.
Okay.
It's probably going to take me a month to recover.
Okay. And that's not the
okay.
reason we're not going to see you in June.
No,
Okay.
I'm going on a trip. I'll be in New Orleans.
Okay.
But yeah, so you'll see me again in July.
Yes,
don't worry.
good.
Yes. Hoping that I survive Bloomsday.
Yeah,
You'll see
right,
me in July.
right.
But
There's
anyway,
something about a 50-hour slam.
Yes, I'm excited
What is
about
that?
this one. This is the 50-hour slam. It's the 8th annual Short Film Festival.
Okay.
It is on May 4th, which is this Friday, at the Bing Theater. And what it was filmmakers, local filmmakers, anyone who wanted to take part, had 50 hours to throw together a short film.
Okay, yes.
That's between 3 and 6 minutes from beginning to end. And
now, when did they do that, or are they doing that on?
so I think they've been judging the films already.
Oh, okay.
And then they'll be presenting them on
Ooh.
Friday, and you can go and watch them. Tickets are $14, and then you'll see.
Now,
who
where's
the
this
best of
gonna
the
be?
best. The Bing Theater.
The Bing Theater.
Which is a perfect spot because
Absolutely.
it was originally a silent movie theater.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
best place.
And don't look at me like, and you remember when it was silent, Kent. Okay.
I started to tell that joke.
I know you.
decided not
I
to.
know you wanted to. Okay.
You remember
and
those days.
And speaking of Friday, it's the first Friday.
Yes. So
Anything
first Friday-
going on?
Yeah, it's a celebration of local arts and music. So it'd be
Right.
a great day to go down, maybe take in some art galleries, do some wine tastings, and then go look at the 50-hour slam at the Bing Theater.
Now, are you providing some good weather? Because
Yes.
Visit Spokane, that's your job,
It
right?
is. It's going to be in the 70s by
Oh,
Friday. So
okay.
I think it's going to be a perfect evening to go.
Wasn't it 84 last Friday, though?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
you did
think
a little
so.
better. But that's almost too warm, because
It is.
with being in the 70s is really comfortable weather to walk around. You don't have to
It
carry a
is.
coat and
I
all
enjoy
that.
78. I think 78,
78?
is the perfect.
Oh, okay. About the
perfect
temperature we've
temperature.
had in the studio at times.
I know, it's warm
yeah,
in here.
it's getting better, but
It's
yeah,
sweaty.
we're working on it. Okay, first Friday. So,
Yeah.
and then Cinco de Mayo. I'm going to guess that's May 5th.
Yes, which is poor timing for anyone who wants to go out the day before Bloomsday.
Yes.
So there's going to be a lot of recovery
Yeah.
after this weekend for a lot of people in Spokane, I think. But the Spokane Jazz Orchestra, they're teaming up with a couple of special guests, Nick
Okay.
Vigil and Malonga, to pay homage to the sounds of Pan-Latin music here on Cinco de Mayo. So
Yeah.
it should be perfect. Tickets are $25. This is also at the Bing Theater.
okay.
And it's Sunday.
And
or
the-
Saturday, I mean.
And the
May
Spokane
5th.
Jazz Orchestra is the first orchestra in Spokane.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yep.
You did, of
And
course
they're
you did.
amazing. They only do a handful of concerts a year.
Right,
So this
right.
is your
And many
your
of them
chance.
this year I tied in with dates like Cinco de Mayo and so forth too.
Yeah.
So there's a chance to do some international kinds of
Right.
flavor and so forth, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, they're very talented.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
worth seeing.
Next is
Yeah.
something going on at Northern Quest.
Yes, we have Jay Leno.
Oh, okay.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
So when you're done
back
with
when
Bloomsday,
back
you
when
can-
late night was actually
Yes.
funny.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Some people might not agree with you.
I know.
Um,
I get that a lot though. So, okay.
Jimmy Fallon's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But Jay Leno will be here at Northern Quest Resort and Casino on Sunday. So when you're done with Bloomsday, you can limp out to Airway Heights and sit and just laugh. It should be a great show. He is.
I'm going to guess there are going to be a
he's
few
hilarious.
Bloomsday jokes in there too.
Probably.
You think?
Probably.
Yeah.
I would think so. And I love that Jay Leno has continued, even when he was the host of The Tonight Show, he continued doing stand-up comedy to stay in shape, as it were.
And I remember reading a lot about the fact that that was where he tested a lot of things because he could get the immediate feedback and so forth and, you know, walk away, well, that didn't work, or that really worked, or if I changed it just a slight bit, you know, where you get to do that testing versus on national TV. And once it's out, it's out.
It's out,
so,
and you don't know what feedback is. You're right. And I love too that he still in his, you know, where he lives in Southern California, he still goes to the local comedy club and just, you know, goes and does a stand-up show just to keep his comedic chops going and fresh.
Yeah, great.
So I think that's fantastic.
Something going on at Martin Woolson Theater at the Fox on May 7th.
I'm excited about this. It's Apocalyptica.
Okay, I was going to let you say it. You knew I was going there, didn't I?
I did not really realize this was going on until I was looking through our events calendar.
Yeah. Is this what you...
yes, I tweeted about this last night because I was so excited about it. It's a Finnish heavy metal band.
Yes, okay.
But they're cellists.
Okay.
They're playing the cello, and they're doing covers of Metallica songs.
Well, is that a stretch or a change out or what?
I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not what you would normally think. What is it?
The Fox Theater, they really bring in some interesting acts to keep it fresh, and I like that.
And next we go to EW, the Eagles. No, it's a different Eagles.
No, different Eagles.
Oh, okay.
The band.
The
Eagles. May 8th at the Spokane Arena. I know a lot of people are excited about this. Iconic band. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
You probably remember when they first started.
Yeah. I was here when the dinosaurs roamed too. Okay, Kate, thanks for pointing that out. Yep.
I love you. So they'll be doing.
I'm gonna miss you in June.
I know. I'll make sure to tell the person who's filling in for me to give you a hard time.
Oh yes. Okay. Great.
And then we have Stars on Ice.
Yeah.
May 18th, also at the Spokane Arena.
Okay.
Tickets for that are anywhere from $27 to $137.
Oh, okay.
And it's all your favorite stars. We've got Nathan Chen, Ashley Wagner, Jason Brown. Should be a good show.
Wow.
Stars on Ice, they're doing their thing.
And we hope it's a hot day so you can go inside and watch in the cool activity, right?
Or pouring down rain, so you don't have to be outside.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
Then you won't be sad that you're missing out on the nice weather.
Then there's a big tradition in Spokane, and more of a tradition even than Bloomsday.
Yes.
In terms of the history and so forth,
yes,
and that is
it's the Spokane Lilac Festival, Armed Forces Torchlight Parade.
Yeah,
it's a mouthful.
Yeah.
It is. Say that 5 times fast.
No.
But it's the largest parade of its kind in the U.S., and it's fantastic that it's in Spokane.
It is.
Downtown Spokane, May 19th.
You know, it's so fun and so great to be first in so many things and to hold records here in Spokane. It really is. And I don't know how many people are really starting to discover Spokane. They come and have an opportunity to visit and to bring a convention. And you hear this all the time, I'm sure, about, wow, didn't realize what a community you have.
Oh, yeah. I had a writer in from Chicago last week, and she'd never been here before. And I took her down to the falls in Huntington Park, and just that's what she kept saying, wow, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And then she kept saying, I could live here.
Yes.
I could live here. This is amazing.
Yeah. Well, buy quickly because the prices are going up.
Everyone's discovering us.
And they really are. And how many friends I've grown up with, before I moved up here 40 years ago and all of that, who are going, my gosh, Kent, your town really is taking off, isn't it? It is. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. I mean, you look at Bloomsday, the biggest race of its kind, the Armed Forces Torchlight Parade. You start looking at all these things, and we've got some really good history behind us.
Father's Day was founded here.
Yeah.
You've got it all. People are talking about us. I had a writer in also from Sunset Magazine.
Yes.
A couple weeks
now there's
ago.
some weird things happening coming up too.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Yes.
Also at Martin Woolson Theater at the Fox.
Okay.
He, of course, is hilarious. I used to love him when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I listened to him religiously. Enjoyed his songs very much.
So just on Sundays?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
All the time. But he'll be here May 27th if you want to listen to his parodies of all the pop songs.
Now, you're going to be gone for June, and you're sending somebody down.
Yes.
So they don't get too scared. I would suggest that you not tell them to watch this so they see how bad our banter is back and forth.
How special we are.
Yeah.
Special.
No, Kate, I enjoy having you here, and I think about literally, and I've said this before, of our coming to Spokane 41 and a half years ago, and how this community has really grown up and how many great things are going on.
Yes.
And we continue to, I mean, you look at the revitalization that continues to this day with the M downtown, the old Macy's building and the housing. And I saw, I think they had one of the apartment units decorated the other day, and so forth. And what a great spot to live and grow up and have a family and everything else that we have here. I just love it. So,
I know, me too. It's been so fun to watch. I've been here for 20 years now, and seeing the evolution of Spokane has been wonderful.
So you started when you were 5?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
Quick answer. That was good. All right. Well, safe travels when you do travel, and we'll see you back here in July.
Thank you. I will be here.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Mike Volz right after this.
Hi everyone, I'm weather forecaster and assignment anchor at Spokane Talks Online, Colin Pittman, and I am honored to be the host of the new program, Spokane's Youth Spotlight, brought to you by Spokane Talks Online and the Spokesman Review, where we are interviewing and getting to know outstanding youth in our community each month. If you'd like to nominate someone in our community that you think should be recognized, that is doing something great here in the region, or has an amazing story, visit SpokaneTalksOnline.com or Spokesman.com and look under Youth Spotlight to nominate. And be sure to tune in each month as we find the best in the Inland Northwest.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
To find the right home for you, you'll work with your realtor to compare the properties you're interested in, analyze the market, and figure out a reasonable offer price. And now, here you are, ready to make an offer. Yay, you! Here's how it works. First, you'll complete an offer sheet which your realtor will then present to the owner. Sometimes, a nice note to the owner can help your offer stand out. Butter them up. Tell them how much you love their garden, that it reminds you of gardening with your grandmother as a child. Do not mention you're gonna bulldoze it and put in a pool. The owner may accept the offer, reject it, or counter. It's important to be in close contact with your realtor during the negotiation process so any changes can be reviewed. Your realtor is like your consigliere, and that makes you the Don. Once your offer is finally accepted, there are usually some contingencies that must be met in order to keep the contract alive. Inspections are totally common in real estate transactions. They include termite checks, surveys to determine boundaries, appraisals to determine value for lenders, title reviews, and structural inspections. This stuff is mind-numbingly fascinating. But you know what's even more fascinating? Actually getting your new house.
To help you be safe, Washington state law requires you to call 811 2 full business days before you plan, for example, to dig, drill, plow, pull from, or pound anything into the ground. Be prepared to provide the operator with the correct address, cross street, and a description of your work. You must mark the dig area with white paint. The operator will inform you of the utilities notified of your impending excavation. Wait for all their marks. Be safe and dig with care.
Welcome back to Spokane Talks Live. This gentleman who's sitting next to me here, Mike Volz, is actually my representative for Washington State Senate, not Senate. I was talking to Jeff Hawley this morning for Washington House Representative 6th District. Get it right, Ken. And so, how are you doing?
I am doing great. It's actually great to be back on this side of the state.
Yes,
and
yes.
Actually, that bright, shiny thing in the sky is absolutely wonderful.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it nice? Yeah, we might get a little color to our skin or something, right?
I might get a little color.
Yeah, yeah.
You certainly don't get color in Olympia.
Oh, I tell you. When I first met you, it was about 2 years ago, almost this time, when you were on our Meet the Candidate program and being interviewed, and I'm going, well, this guy sounds pretty darn intelligent, and he's running for an office that covers my area, and we've become friends since, and you've had 2 years now in the House of Representatives for Washington State. Let's just, for the first minute or so, talk about what has that experience been like?
The term drinking through a fire hose comes to mind. I was initially assigned...
I forgot about your sense of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was originally put on the Appropriations Committee, which is the state budget committee.
Right,
I was the only freshman to be on that committee.
That's because of your financial background.
Yeah, because I've worked in the public sector and finance and
Right.
the CPA, and they thought I might know something. But I was also put on the Education Committee, which are two of the busiest committees.
Oh, gosh.
I started out on my third committee.
From
was
the frying pan into the fire.
Yeah, there was
Oh.
no frying pan. There was no intermediate step. It was straight into the fire. And I also served on the state government for 1 year, and this year I was moved to the capital budget right at the time when we didn't have a capital budget, and so
Well, you did a great job.
But we did get a capital budget, and we also got the Hearst fix too for the water rights, which is really a big deal, not
Absolutely.
just for the 6th, but Eastern Washington. We towed the line on that, so that was a major accomplishment. That now people can actually enjoy their property and live the life that they want to live. There's some restrictions on water, but overall the deal we got was.
But to
pretty
stop
generous.
it entirely was absolutely ridiculous.
It was crazy, and it was a bit frustrating because it really ignored 130, 150 years of Western water law, and suddenly those rights just disappeared overnight.
Yeah.
And then when you look at like Seattle. Seattle doesn't get their water from straight down underneath Seattle. It actually gets it from rural Washington. And when they're growing at 10,000 units a year, the demands on water.
Where's it going to come from?
It comes from rural Washington. But literally, you could not get a well permit. You could not build on the property where on the area where Seattle's getting their water. So the hypocrisy of it. It was frustrating. But we stood together, and there was clearly some support amongst our Democrat friends to get something worked out, and that was a major accomplishment. This short session. So that was I was glad to see that. We were not going to vote on the bond vote associated with the capital budget. That was the only piece of leverage we had, and it worked, and we didn't blink. So we got that done, and that's a huge deal to Eastern Washington, 6th District. Everybody, all these rural counties and these little Spokane watershed and other areas.
Okay, so you've been there 2 years. I hear a rumor that you're going to try to get reelected. Is that true?
That is true.
Okay.
I've signed up, ready to go, waiting for filing week.
No, I think that's great.
So I didn't get enough abuse the first 2 years, so I'm going to
keep going back.
Try to go back.
Yeah. Mike, tell me about what are, as you go out and talk with people and do the door-to-door and have meetings and neighborhood things and so forth, what are you hearing that are some of the key issues that people are worried about right now?
There's a lot of concern about taxes, and with the McCleary fix, there was an increase in the property tax.
Right.
And in my day job, I'm the chief deputy treasurer at Spokane County, and we've heard from a lot of people on why their taxes went up so much.
Right.
And it's because of the state school.
It's like you don't want to answer the phone, is it?
Yeah, no, we answer the phone. You can't dodge it. And I'm hearing the same thing. And there's concern about making sure that we preserve these water rights is one issue. A lot on the taxes. People understand the carbon tax issue that they're trying to get through. The income tax. It's not just no. It's a pretty emphatic no. We can insert expletives.
I was thinking of a couple. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So people are pretty strong. And in the 6th district, if you look at some of these advisory votes and these other initiatives, have a very, very strong and clear record on opposing these taxes from Olympia. The interesting thing is overall we will support local taxes if it makes sense. Take STA's recent vote, or some of the school bonds, which takes a while sometimes, but we support those, and that's local, and we think we're getting something from it.
Right.
But a carbon tax and income tax, that's still kind of coming down the road.
It's sort of taxing for taxing's sake, isn't it?
It is, and the numbers are a little rusty, but it wasn't that long ago that the state general fund budget was $30 billion. Ish, and we're talking within the last decade, 8 years, and now it's closing in on $50 billion, and they still want more money, and it's to me it's frustrating on trying to get prioritize the spending instead of I know politicians like shiny new stuff, but we need to.
Well, and the more you tax individuals and tax businesses and purchasing and everything else, you tend to damp down that wanting to spend dollars and so forth out there, which is how we raise money for the state and how we raise money for the county and so forth. And honestly, to hire more people. Why do you want to penalize businesses who want to hire more people, which really solves so much of the social issues out there when people are employed?
It is. It is when you have good jobs and a good wage. You can tie it to crime, mental health issues.
All of that.
I mean, if you're unemployed, you're going to be naturally depressed, and how you cope with that. So it does have that. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of the economic activity in our region is now in Idaho. You look at the just the retail stuff,
right?
Cabela's, the Walmart, the Costco, the gas stations, all that. They're doing pretty good business over there.
Right.
And during my last campaign, I took a tour through the Cabela's parking lot, and half the license plates were from Washington.
Yes.
Well, I guarantee they're not driving from King County to go to our Cabela's in Idaho.
Well, they're not going over there paying the Idaho tax, which is lower, and coming over here and declaring the difference, are they?
No, probably not.
Yeah. I mean, so that's lost revenue.
It is. And there's actually, which I uncovered over there, there's I think a 2014 Washington State Department of Revenue report that estimates the economic loss on the border counties of about $3 billion a year.
Wow.
And that's primarily, when you look at it, it's primarily Clark County losing business to Oregon, and Spokane to Kootenai County in Idaho.
Right.
The other thing is that I met with a contractor recently, and they're actually, because of paid family leave and the minimum wage and some of these other laws that we're enacting, are losing now contracts to Idaho companies. So they on public works, building schools. So I'm gonna look into that a little bit more. If that's the case, I mean, that's another hit.
Well, as you know, we have a city council here that just wants to tax and run all of our businesses, especially small businesses. They think they know better. Yeah, you've got one that owns a pot farm, I guess, so maybe he or she knows how to do that. You've got another person who's the council president that I don't think has owned a business. And then an attorney who's going to sue everybody. And I mean, it's frustrating from a business standpoint to be looking over your shoulder constantly for people who are telling you how to run your business.
It is. And kind of on that note, we have a great example here in Spokane County. I took a tour out at Kaiser, and I didn't realize that they were at full employment. I didn't realize all the great things that they did at Kaiser. They are one of the cleanest manufacturing in their sector of the market in the world.
Wow.
And that was not because of government regulation, because number one, they're good corporate citizens in our community. They live here. They don't want to have unnecessary pollution. They invested millions of dollars. They worked, management and labor worked together on this to keep these good, solid jobs in there and clean up their plant and make it run more efficiently. So it's being a good corporate partner. And it's also
makes good business sense.
It makes good business sense.
Yes.
The private sector will figure it out. In the days of unfiltered smokestacks billowing ash all over are long gone.
Yeah.
If and it didn't take a carbon tax or any of this stuff, which, by the way, may push them over the brink. That may be enough where they can no longer maintain the level of what they're doing. And they're a world-class manufacturer right here in Spokane County.
Right.
And
and I've kind of forgotten about them. They've been the quiet community supporters, haven't they?
They have been. I was blown away.
Yeah.
I was, I remember I've been around Spokane long enough where the meat plant was smelting, and they were running, and late at night on Division you'd hear the trucks low gearing at 1, 2 in the morning. But they've kind of rebooted and understand the importance of being good stewards of the environment and great family wage jobs,
Now, about 5-6 months ago, there was a gal in here from Ferris High School who was being nominated for the Washington State Teacher of the Year. And she kind of went on to the national scene and became the National Teacher of the Year. And you know who I'm talking about because you hosted her over in Olympia, right?
We're talking about Mandy Manning, who runs the Newcomer Center at Freeman, or not Freeman, I'm sorry, Ferris High School. And she
talk about a diverse group of students.
Oh, it's insane. She invited me in, I think it was last May or June, into her classroom. And I was absolutely blown away. We're talking students from Middle East, from Europe, from Asia, from South America, and they fail the minimum English requirements. So her job is to get them up to the minimum so they can mainstream and go into the other classrooms. And so you're talking people where English is often not a second language, but a third or fourth language, including sign language. And so I was blown away. I kind of invited myself back into her classroom because it was so good. But I hosted her. She brought herself and 3 of her former students, all of which are in college in Washington State now, over, and we did a resolution honoring her accomplishments on the House.
Neat.
And now she is the U.S. Teacher of the Year.
Which is great news for her in some ways, but bad news for her and for Ferris because she's going to spend a year away from Ferris and her current duties to be the National Teacher of the Year and travel the country and all.
Yeah, she'll be an ambassador, across the country.
Right.
Hopefully, now that she's really a big shot, I got my request in to get her back to Olympia because I think, I'm on the ed committee and all that, and I think that puts a real face. And
absolutely.
I said it when I introduced her. I said, this may be shocking, and I'm a CPA, but some of this stuff gets dry. And the chair, what do you mean it's dry? But I said, this isn't. This is exciting, and it
again. From Spokane.
From Spokane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from Spokane, from Ferris, U.S. Teacher of the Year.
Right.
Phenomenal person, does a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So hats off to her. Yeah. Congratulations upon congratulations to her. She earned it. It was an honor to have my little role in honoring her, and I will continue to sing her praises.
Well, that's great. Mike, good to have you here. Good to see you. Good to have you in town.
Yes.
Anytime it's good to be in town compared to Olympia craziness, right?
It is.
And all of that. And best of luck as you move forward in your campaign, okay? All right. Thank you.
Sir.
Mike Volz, 6th District, Washington representative, my representative. And good to have you here. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next Tuesday right here on Spokane Talks Live. Have a great week, everybody.
Spokane Talks Live is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Online, LLC, which is solely responsible for its content. To recommend a guest or topic, or to see this program again, please visit our website, SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Spokane Talks Live is brought to you by our friends at Homes for You and Breakthrough Incorporated. Join us next Wednesday, noon, for another nourishing conversation on Spokane Talks Live.